Hello, and welcome to another story time brought to you by ABC Read and ABC Learn, in which we are here to help you develop and nurture that love of reading in every child as well as every adult, with a particular emphasis on our Black children. That's what's up. That is why ABC Read, our nonprofit organization, started the nonprofit back in 2012 because we wanted to see our Black children succeed in reading. We are tired of seeing and reading about and hearing about statistics about Black children being at the bottom when it comes to reading proficiency, when it comes to reading comprehension and fluency, and even just wanting to read. So this is why we started ABC Read, all right, which is our 501c3 nonprofit organization. And ABC Learn is my tutoring business. I am a reading tutor slash reading motivator. Yes, that word was made up, reading motivator. That's right, because what I do is to help motivate children to want to read through doing awesome read alouds, just like the one you all are about to listen to now. Okay. And I hope that everybody is doing great wherever you are around the globe. And I hope that you all have read, or your plan is to read for at least 30 minutes. And before we get started, I wanted to share with you all something that I had read and I wrote it down. Oh, as a matter of fact, it is from the book Read Aside. All right. And that book is by Kelly Gallagher. All right. The book Read Aside. And basically, what that book talks about is how our schools are killing that desire and that drive for our children to want to read. Okay. Awesome, awesome book. And I highly recommend that you all get that book as well. And one of the things that I wrote down in my handy dandy notebook is something called the Reader's Death Spiral. Now, peep this, y'all. All right. Reader's Death Spiral. All right. You know it's something when something spirals, right? It's going on and on, going down, round and around and around, right? And we know what death means, right? It's over. The opposite of death is life, right? All right. So here we go. A reader's death spiral. It's where children aren't reading, then are worse at reading because they aren't reading. Then they read less because it is hard, and they get worse. And then they see themselves as non readers. I'm going to repeat that. It's where children aren't reading, then are worse at reading because they aren't reading. Then they read less because it is hard, and they get worse. And then they see themselves as non readers. And this came from Strauss. And again, like I said, this was taken out of the book Read Aside by Kelly Gallagher. Okay. In a nutshell, simply put, we have to encourage our children to read, even if it's a book that they have read 5 to 10 million times. Let them keep reading it over and over again. And then also, what you can do is try to find other books like that book. Because you see, just like in the quote, what can happen is that when children are not reading, then guess what? They will get worse at it. Just like in anything that we do, we must practice it. Anything that you learn, you must practice it. Okay? And anything that you struggle with, you must practice it and keep doing it over and over again, even if it's on a quote unquote lower level. It doesn't matter. So, my point being again is that whatever books that your children are at least trying to gravitate to, please allow them to keep reading those books over and over again until they develop that love and want to read. And then, slowly start increasing, the level of books that they should be reading. All right. And I hate to say that. I was kind of, a little timid about saying should be reading, because again, like I talk about in my other videos, children, everybody has their own quote unquote reading level. You have some kids, they may read and they'll just whiz through a book. You have some kids, it may take them a little minute, but they may understand what it is that they're reading. Their comprehension level is great. So my point again is that every child is on different levels, all right? So what our goal is that we want our children to get into reading, to just develop and nurture that thirst for reading, to want to read, all right? So let me stop there before I start continuously talking, just, going on, and then it just becomes a spiral, right? I'm just going on and on. All right, so here we go, y'all. Here we go. I am reading from this book again for those of you who have subscribed to my channel, and it is called Still in the Game. Stealing the Game. Because I noticed, I listened to myself say the title, and I'm like, it sounds like I'm saying still in the game, but I'm saying, here's the cover right here, Stealing the Game, all right? And it's written by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Raymond Obstfeld, all right? And they also have written the book together. What is it called? Oh, goodness. It's a book about talking about African American inventors, all right? And I cannot, that book is, the title has escaped me, but that is an awesome, awesome book that you guys must have in your libraries, okay? Now, for those of you who are not familiar with what's going on with this book, this is a chapter book, and I've been reading different chapters and have been uploading them as I've been reading these chapters. And if you want to find out what happened in the beginning, you have to go back to chapter 1, all right? So I'm going to start right here, hot tempers and cold ices, but I will give you just a little brief summary of where we at. And basically, you got some friends, they're playing basketball. You got a boy, Chris. He was in school and he got beat up. Police came to question him. And so now what they're doing is they're talking about, we're in the, I think it's at 4 days earlier phase. Yeah, because in the beginning of the book, they told you about what happened to Chris. And then we're finding out what happened before the whole incident happened to Chris, all right? So this chapter is called Hot Tempers and Cold Ices. Roger pulled Daniel into a headlock and twisted his knuckle against Daniel's scalp. Ow! Daniel said, but he was laughing. Victory noogie, Weston announced, pulling Daniel from Roger and delivering his own quick noogie. He released Daniel, who rubbed his head, but had the biggest smile on his face. Let's run it back, Zach said. That was close. He glared at me. I gotta go, Weston said. I haven't finished my algebra homework. If I don't get at least a B on the next quiz, I've got to spend the weekend cleaning the garage. I've got a piano lesson, Daniel said, climbing on his bicycle. Next time, dudes. He waved happily as he rode off. That was it. Game over. Zach and Eric also took off, and I could hear Zach grumbling about me as they walked. Roger sniffed the air and frowned at Weston. You do smell like an ape, bro. Actually, Weston said, my little sister got a new hamster to replace her dead one, and I had to clean the cage this morning. Weston and Roger picked up their jackets from the grass. Roger turned, looked at me, and smiled. You're too soft, Chris, letting Dan have that winning shot. I didn't say anything. See you tomorrow, Weston said as they walked off together. They lived in the same neighborhood. In the court next to us, Tad continued to shoot free throws and continued to miss. I heard some shouting and looked over at the stone bench where those two 20-something guys had been sitting. They were on their feet now, hollering at each other. Fohawk seemed really upset, repeatedly poking his finger in Hoodie's chest. When Hoodie finally brushed the poking finger away, Fohawk threw the remains of his blue icy in Hoodie's face. I expected Hoodie to punch him, but he didn't. He just brushed the chunks of blue ice from his face and the front of his hoodie while Fohawk yelled a couple more things and then stomped off. That was entertaining, I thought as I picked up my keys and basketball from the grass. I started walking home, nodding at Tad, who smiled and nodded back. He shot, missed, shuffled after the ball and carried it back to the free throw line. Chris! Hey, Chris! I looked around to see who was calling my name. Hoodie was jogging toward me, his beat-up black suitcase rolling across the grass beside him. When he was only 20 feet away, he pulled down his hood and whipped off his sunglasses. It was my brother Jax. Wow. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my goodness, y'all. Yeah, I'm loving how they leave you hanging at the end of these chapters because guess what? I know y'all want some more. I know y'all want to find out what's going on. And just like Chris said, this dude let somebody throw an icy in his face. Psh, nah, sorry. Nah, that ain't the way to do it, y'all. Mm-mm-mm. I'm sorry. There, you have to be able to stand up for yourself. Somebody throw some ice in your face? Psh, I don't think so. But anyway, y'all join me next time because I am going to read the next chapter so y'all can find out what's going on. And obviously, Chris and Jax, my prediction is that they haven't seen each other in a minute. All right. So tune in next time and remember to please, please keep reading for at least 30 minutes a day. Happy reading, family. Peace.